Hi everybody, this is Dennis, and thank you for joining as we do the book and record playthrough. This is Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. This is number 463, came out in 1984. It includes the 24-page read-along book with the record, and these ones were not 45s, but actually 33 1/3 RPMs. And it includes stories and photos from the original motion picture of Star Trek III. So join us as we do the entire playthrough for The Search for Spock.
You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the communicator beep like this. Let's begin now. Space, the final frontier. These are the continuing voyages of the Starship Enterprise. After his battle with the criminal Khan, Admiral James Kirk and his crew brought the battle-scarred USS Enterprise back to Earth for repairs.
Captain's personal log. We're nearly home, yet I'm uneasy. The ship feels empty since the death of my friend Mr. Spock. And ship surgeon McCoy has been acting strangely. At times, he seems to believe that he is Spock.
An alarm rang on Commander Chekhov's console.
Admiral, this is impossible. Someone is inside Mr. Spock's sealed quarters.
Kirk raced to investigate. He found McCoy crouched in the corner of the dark room, pleading for help.
Take me home to Vulcan, Jim. Help me up the steps of Mount Saleya.
Kirk shivered. McCoy was speaking with Mr. Spock's voice. At the same time, far out in space, Lord Krug, captain of a Klingon warship, conferred with his men.
The Federation has a powerful new weapon they call the Genesis machine. They've already used it to create a new planet, but it can also destroy whole worlds. We must go to the new planet and capture the secret of this weapon. Nothing must stop us.
Meanwhile, from a ship in orbit, Jim Kirk's son, David Marcus, studied the new Genesis planet. His was a special interest, since he had helped build the machine that created the planet. Surprised by what his instruments showed, David turned to his half-Vulcan friend.
Lieutenant Savick, I'm getting a life form reading from the planet's surface. And there shouldn't be anything down there but rocks and plants.
Savick frowned.
We'd better beam down and investigate.
When the pair materialized on the planet, David saw a black metal tube lying open on the ground nearby.
That's Spock's casket. But his body, it's gone.
A small earthquake shook the ground. Savick examined her tricorder.
Readings indicate this planet is highly unstable, and the life form you detected is moving off in that direction. Let's go before it gets away.
Kirk was still worried about Dr. McCoy when he received an unexpected visitor. Sarek, Mr. Spock's father.
Kirk, you were with my son when he died. Surely he mind-melded with you. How could you, his friend, leave him on Genesis?
Sarek, I swear he didn't mind meld with me. But maybe he did with someone else. And if so, we can find out who it was from the flight recorder of the Enterprise.
As the computer played back its recording, Kirk watched tensely, hoping.
Remember.
There it is. He mind-melded with Dr. McCoy. That explains why McCoy has been acting so strangely.
Sarek turned to Kirk gravely.
Knowing his body's end was near, my son placed his living spirit into McCoy's mind. You must bring both Spock's body and McCoy to Mount Saleya on Vulcan. Only there can they both find peace.
Kirk went to the commander of Starfleet.
Admiral, I want to return to Genesis for Spock's body. He was my friend. McCoy is my friend. They're both in pain. I have to do this for them.
Absolutely not, Jim. Genesis has thrown the galaxy into an uproar. Until things calm down, that planet is off limits.
Kirk nodded, but as he left, he thought to himself,
I'm going, even if I have to steal the Enterprise to do it.
It began to snow as Savick and David closed in on the life form they were chasing. When they finally cornered it, Savick couldn't believe her eyes.
David, it's a Vulcan boy.
The child watched them like a wild animal, fearful and silent. David thought quickly.
The Genesis machine. When it created this planet, it must have recreated Spock's body. Savick, this child is Spock.
David eagerly examined his tricorder to confirm his discovery. Savick tried talking to the child in Vulcan,
Ishvani, Kulmi.
but he didn't respond.
He seems to have totally lost his memory. We'd better get him up to the ship's medic as soon as possible.
She flipped open her communicator.
Captain, this is Lieutenant Savick. Prepare to beam us up. 3 of us.
But before the Federation ship could beam them aboard, Lord Krug's warship appeared from behind its cloaking device. Without warning, a photon torpedo shot from the Klingon ship and blasted the other vessel out of the sky. David was horrified.
Savick, what do we do now? Our only way home has been destroyed.
Kirk and McCoy, with the help of Scott, Chekhov, Uhura, and Sulu, sneaked aboard the empty Enterprise and started her powerful engines. As the ship pulled away from Earth orbit, the angry voice of the Starfleet commander came over the communication channel.
Kirk, I order you to surrender that vessel at once.
Kirk glanced at Chekhov.
No reply. Best speed to Genesis.
The next morning, as the little group left the cave to find another hiding place, they ran straight into the heavily armed Klingon landing party. Lord Krug glowered at Savick.
You will tell me the secret of the Genesis machine, or else...
Just then, his communicator beeped.
My Lord Krug, you must beam up. A Federation starship is approaching.
Hidden by its cloaking device, the Klingon ship lay in wait. As the Enterprise entered orbit, Kirk noticed something on his view screen.
That blurry patch. A Klingon cloaking device.
Scotty, shields up!
But it was too late. A Klingon photon torpedo blasted into the Enterprise, destroying her automated controls. Scotty pounded on his useless panel.
Captain, we've got no control of our weapons or engines. We're helpless.
Krug's face appeared on the view screen.
I have 3 prisoners from your Genesis team. Surrender immediately or they'll be executed.
Kirk tried to stall, but Krug cut him off with an order to his men on Genesis.
Kill one of them.
The senior guard drew a dagger. David jumped him and tried to wrestle the knife away. The Klingon freed his arm and plunged the dagger into David's chest. As the young hero fell, Kirk shouted at Krug.
You Klingon monster! You've killed my son.
Kirk knew he had to surrender his ship, but he wasn't going to give her away without fighting back.
Sulu, prepare to beam us down. Scotty, Chekhov, help me set the computer.
Scott frowned.
Set it for what, sir?
To destroy the Enterprise.
When Krug's men arrived, the Enterprise was empty and silent. All they heard was a computer voice, counting quietly down to 0. And then, a tremendous explosion. Kirk and the others watched wordlessly as their ship fell from the heavens. Kirk blinked hard to hold back the tears.
Bones. She was our home for 20 years. What have I done?
McCoy squeezed his friend's shoulder.
You did what you had to do. You turned death into a fighting chance to live.
Kirk turned away sadly.
Come on. Let's go find Spock.
Their tricorders led them over the quaking ground to the Klingon camp. Kirk stunned the guards with a phaser blast, then caught sight of David's body. He went and kneeled by him.
My son, both heaven and earth friend thee forever. I've lost Spock, my ship, now you.
Savick came and knelt by him.
We've both lost much, Admiral. But you must know, Spock, is alive.
Kirk ran to where McCoy leaned over Spock, examining him.
He's alive, Jim, but aging rapidly. We've got to get him off this planet or he'll die again.
Drop your weapons!
It was Krug, holding a deadly phaser on them. He barked into his communicator.
Maltz, beam up the prisoners. All but Kirk. I have a score to settle with him.
After the others vanished, Krug growled at Kirk.
Give me the secret of Genesis, or we both die with this planet!
Just then, the Earth shook violently. Krug lost his footing, and Kirk leaped on him. The two wrestled for control of the phaser. Krug dazed Kirk with a vicious punch and aimed the phaser at him. Just then, a huge crack opened under his feet. Screaming curses, he fell to his death. Imitating Krug's voice, Kirk barked into his communicator.
Maltz, beam me up!
When Kirk appeared on the Klingon ship, his phaser was already pointed at Maltz.
Now, you're our prisoner. Scotty, Sulu, Chekhov, set course for Vulcan. The planet is falling apart. We've got to get out of here fast.
The ship shot away into space. Kirk gazed back at Genesis as it fell into its sun and vanished.
Goodbye, David.
Sarek met them when they landed on Vulcan.
The High Priestess is ready to try to rejoin Spock's body and spirit. Dr. McCoy, please follow us into the temple.
Kirk and his crew had to wait outside as the ritual went on through the long night. Then, at dawn, the chanting stopped. With McCoy's help, Spock emerged from the temple. He faced Kirk hesitantly.
My father says you have been my friend, but I'm afraid I don't remember.
Spock's friends were crestfallen. They had come through so much, only for this? Kirk tried to help.
You saved the ship, Spock. You saved us all. Don't you remember?
I'm sorry. I can't.
Spock started sadly away. Helplessly, Kirk called after him.
I have been, and ever shall be, your friend.
Spock turned and gazed hard at Kirk. Then a gentle light filled his eyes.
Jim. Your name
is Jim. Spock smiled joyously. Yes, Spock. My name is Jim. Yep, there you go, everybody. Sorry about that, but for some reason, the new record players, when they get in towards the center, they have an auto shut-off switch now, and they just don't go in far enough. But anyway, that's the end of it. You can see they list some of the other books: Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Black Stallion. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up some more of these and continue to do it. We can take a look at the back of it. Read Along Adventure, Buena Vista, the ones that putting these out. So yeah, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed Star Trek 3, the search for Spock. I'll leave all the information down in the link below. Smash that like and subscribe button. You can check out my other book and record playthroughs. And also, I'll leave the link for Kor-Drath: The Reckoning, the project that Andy and I are working on. The comic book and role-playing game, high fantasy, barbarian goodness. So check it out. If you haven't already backed it, please back it. It's still up and running on Indiegogo. And anyway, like I said earlier, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. And we will talk to you all real soon. Thanks for joining us.